It's Project Cargo Professionals at Breakbulk Americas here in Houston, and we're with my pal Kevin Kwateng. How are you doing, Kev?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for the invitation.
No, thank you. And you've just wrapped up the tech session here at Breakbulk, so we thought we might have a chat about all things tech related, as you seem to be the man to ask.
Oh, listen, you're giving me a little bit too much credit, but of course, I would love to talk to you about this.
So the old anecdote was major projects running on Excel spreadsheets. Tell us where we are with that, because I know you run your own logistics company, so you see what's going on today. Are the big projects still being run on Excel?
They are definitely still being run on Excel, but there is a transition happening where a lot of companies are moving away from Excel and using now more detailed software that allows them to do a lot much more, a lot quicker. But don't get me wrong, Excel is still there. It's a best friend of a lot of people, and even better than Excel, pen and paper.
And there's quite a lot of systems now, isn't there?
There are quite a lot of systems now. I think the difficulty is figuring out which one works the best for you.
Yeah.
Because every system is, again, tailored for a certain type of customer, certain type of reality. And so now there's a little bit of research that needs to go into in terms of figuring out which one works for me.
Yeah. So as I said, you run your own logistics company. So to what extent have you been able to digitalize your operations?
Well, this is something that we're working on quite a bit. And so the company that I own and operate in is Project Logistics.
Yep.
And we do engineering, we do consulting, and we do software. Now, the way that we work in this industry is a lot with OEMs, manufacturers. We work a lot with freight forwarders. We work a lot with transport companies. And we do the technical side. So we're basically technical support for the industry. Now, let's take a simple example, doing a turning simulation. What we used to do in the past is use a software called AutoCAD, which was built for engineers to do construction or mechanics. And it wasn't a perfect application, but it was the best thing available. Now what we've done is we've transitioned from that to using HeavyGoods. And HeavyGoods is the software that we sell to other customers as well, and other transport companies, allowing them to do that in-house.
This is a European system, right, that you represent here in North America?
Exactly.
Yep.
So we did the partnership, and so we're representing them for Canada, US, and Mexico. And so that's our territory. It's already big enough, so we don't need any more.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, I'm a user of the system, and that's how it all came about. I'm a user of the system. I'm trying to solve my own problems to then solve my customers' problems. How can I do the same amount of work in less time? And then something that used to take me a week, I could do in less than a day. And that's with me learning this within a week. So now the beautiful thing is we're able to use different softwares like that to become more efficient as a person, become more efficient as a team, and obviously more efficient as a company. So last thing I'll say about that is my goal, and now what we're doing internally, is we have a software division where we have developers that are literally working to solve engineering and bring engineering to the masses. You know, our slogan is making engineering accessible, because the idea is we don't want engineering to be a bottleneck. You know, less than 0.1% of the people in the industry are engineers, but it's so necessary for these heavy project cargo moves.
Yeah.
And so the idea is, how can we take engineering, make it accessible, where a driver, a permit agent, a project manager can basically take that, understand the software, and produce quality work.
Yeah. And last time I spoke to you a little while ago, and we were talking about this subject of tech for project logistics, you said, I'm on my 10th system.
Yeah.
How come you went through so many systems? And from what you see in here, where do these developers go wrong?
Okay, so the reason why is because, again, it all starts with, what is my problem? How can I be more efficient? Or how can I just have access to better software or better tools? Instead of taking a week or a month to do something, how can I do it in a couple of hours?
Yeah.
And so basically it's really just like, you can't see because I have a head full of hair. But, sometimes I'm pulling my hair out at night because I'm like, man, this is taking way too long and it's wasting my time. And so literally the idea is every time I have a problem, I ask myself the question is there a better way to do it?
Yep.
And if there is, perfect, how can I use AI? How can I use software to help me? Does something exist? Yes, no. If it does exist, does it work for me? Yes, no. And if it doesn't exist, can I build it? And so then I ask myself, okay, I have this problem, I solved it for myself, and once I have, then can this be useful to other people that I know? And then that's kind of how I've gone from 1 to 2 to 10.
Yeah.
Just solving my own problems.
And what do you think people are looking for? Where do you think is the gap in the market?
This is hard. This is hard because it really depends on where you are. if you're in transportation, if you're in rail, if you're in shipping,
Yeah.
and then even just in transport, there's so many different levels. I think that there's a lot of problems to solve. Tech has a lot of capabilities. And funny thing is, a lot of people could solve a lot of their problems without a big company they can solve them with the AI that exists right now. ChatGPT can solve probably like 75% of the problems that exist in the industry.
Using the data they've already got.
Just using the data that they've already got. Just asking the right questions.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And do you think North America is ahead? Like, how much progress have we made? And you speak to guys in Europe, you know what's going on in other parts of the world. Do you think that it is?
North America, well, I am lucky and blessed to be able to speak to people all across the world. We're talking about doing projects in Japan, in the Philippines. Just came back from Mexico, spent a month in Europe. So not only are we in North America, but we're worldwide. So I do get a chance to speak to different people. And what I'm noticing is everybody's ahead in different ways.
Yeah.
So in North America, we're ahead in a lot of different ways, and in other ways, we're really behind. And so I think a big part of it is trusting that software is there to help and not replace. And that software is a tool and not a replacement of an individual. And I think that if we're moving with that mindset, we'll adopt it quicker and then be able to actually enjoy the benefits of it. Yeah. So it's a race. Everyone is trying to solve, again, their problems. And the beautiful thing is, if a problem is solved in Portugal, it can in a week it can be applied here in Texas.
Yeah.
So the speed now is really the game. And I think this is something that the team and I are even thinking about, which is a software that is coming out today that was developed 3 years in the making to arrive today can be made in 3 months now.
Right.
So it's like the speed at which it was taking a year now is a month.
Yeah.
So some things were just inaccessible. It was a great idea, but it would just take too much time, too much effort.
Yeah.
You can watch a couple of YouTubes, use ChatGPT, and get someone that's in that software industry, and in 3 months, you can see a really big change to solving a lot of these big problems.
Yeah. And you say Excel's still kicking around.
For sure.
What do you think holds people back from not implementing tech faster than what they are doing?
Tech solves a lot of problems, it doesn't solve everything. And so at the end, like I said, it's a tool. And so just like any tool, if the user isn't comfortable, doesn't have confidence, or hasn't built up a way to do it more efficiently, then automatically the tool doesn't have any use.
Yeah.
And so, there's so much technology that exists for a purpose, but it's just not as efficient as doing it the old-fashioned way. Yeah. And so, pen and paper or good old memory, if that works, then hey, why change it?
Yeah. And have you got any concerns about the increase of tech in project logistics? Somebody on another podcast, they gave an example of a crane on a ship that stopped because of a fault, because it was digitally controlled. Have you got any concerns around digitalization in tech?
Yeah, for sure. With all technology, people usually want to use it for good. There's other people that you want to use it for other reasons, Today, my email got hacked. You know what I mean? So even with technology that's proven...
That's not good for the tech specialist.
Yeah, exactly. I need to talk to somebody, But the idea is, again, that, with all tech, there are bugs, there are problems. Yeah. It's not 100% bulletproof. And so with the advantages do come some disadvantages. But overall, we have to accept that certain things are going to happen. But overall, it's better to have it than to not. Let's take something, not from tech in our days, but something like a car. When they brought up cars originally, yes, certain people died, but then globally they looked at it and said, are we as a human species better off with cars than not because of accidents? And it's like, okay, well, the car is so advantageous, so beneficial, let's just make them safer. Let's make road design safer. Let's put street lights and all this other kind of infrastructure to make it safer so that we can benefit from the car. Yeah. And everybody has a car. Some people have 2, 3 cars. Some people collect cars, right? Yeah. So I think the same thing is going to happen with technology, where they're going to put technical street lights, green light, red light, yellow, to find ways of protecting people and making sure that we don't go down a path that doesn't need to be gone down.
Yeah. Kevin, really interesting topic, and thanks very much for your thoughts.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
Thank you.
Thank you.